If you're eligible, you can sponsor your spouse, partner, dependent children, parents and grandparents, and other certain relatives to Canada as permanent residents. You can sponsor your spouse, partner, or dependent child if you're at least 18 years old, you're a Canadian citizen, a permanent resident, or a person registered in Canada as an Indian. If you're a Canadian citizen living outside Canada, you must show that you have planned to live in Canada when the persons you want to sponsor become permanent residents. You're able to prove that you're not receiving social assistance for reasons other than disability. You can sponsor the person as your spouse if your marriage is a legally valid civil marriage. You can sponsor the person as your common law partner as long as you have been living or have lived with your partner for at least 12 consecutive months in a marriage-like relationship. You can also sponsor your conjugal partner if there's a significant degree of attachment between the two of you and you have been in a genuine relationship for at least 12 months where marriage or cohabitation hasn't been possible because of barriers such as sexual orientation, religious faith, among others. If your spouse or common law partner is living in Canada with you and is applying as a member of the spouse or common law partner in Canada class, they can also apply for an open work permit when they apply for permanent residence. Your child or the child of your spouse or common law partner can be considered a dependent child if that child is under 22 years old and doesn't have a spouse or common law partner. Children 22 years old or older qualify as dependents if they have depended on their parents for financial support since before the age of 22 and they are unable to financially support themselves because of a mental or physical condition. It is also important to remember that if the person you are sponsoring or their child has one or more children in the sole custody of their other parent, you must still declare the child in the application. If a permanent resident doesn't declare all their family members on their application, they could risk losing their permanent resident status. To become a sponsor, you must promise to financially take care of the persons you are sponsoring for a period of time. This is called promise and undertaking. Also, you and your sponsored family members need to agree to certain responsibilities during the undertaking period. This is the sponsorship agreement that states you'll provide for the basic needs of your sponsored family members and the person you sponsor will make every effort to support themselves and their family members. The person you're sponsoring and their family members must pass background, security, and medical checks. In most cases, there is no income requirement to sponsor your spouse or partner or dependent children. You only need to show that you have enough money to meet the income requirements if you're sponsoring a dependent child that has one or more dependent children of their own, or you're sponsoring a spouse or partner that has a dependent child and their dependent child has one or more children of their own. Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada has announced that the 2020 intake for the parent and grandparent sponsorship program will be further delayed due to the outbreak of COVID-19. We will continue to monitor this program and will post an update when it becomes available. You can sponsor your own parents and grandparents related by blood or adoption if you're at least 18 years old, you live in Canada, you're a Canadian citizen, or a permanent resident or a person registered in Canada as an Indian, and you have enough money to support the persons you want to sponsor through proof of income. To become a sponsor, you must promise to financially take care of the persons you are sponsoring for a period of time. This undertaking commits you to providing financial support for your sponsored family members for 20 years, starting when they become permanent residents. In the application, you can only include your brothers and sisters or half-brothers and sisters if they qualify as dependent children. You can also sponsor certain relatives if you're 18 years old or older, a Canadian citizen, a permanent resident, or a person registered in Canada as an Indian. When you sponsor a relative to become a permanent resident of Canada, you must meet set income guidelines and agree in writing to give financial support to your relative and any other eligible relatives coming with them. The person you sponsor must sign an agreement saying they will make the effort to support themselves. You can sponsor an orphaned brother, sister, nephew, niece, or grandchild. only if they're related to you by blood or adoption, both of their mother and father passed away, they're under 18 years of age, and they are single. You may sponsor one relative related by blood or adoption of any age. If you don't have a living relative you could sponsor instead, such as spouse, partner, son or daughter, parent, grandparent, orphan brother or sister, orphan nephew or niece, orphan grandchild. And you don't have any relatives who is a Canadian citizen, permanent resident, or registered Indian under the Indian Act. Thanks for watching. My name is Jessica Sabinesio of Fusion Immigration, your pathway to Canada.